Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
If that fight ends up being close,
yes,
a lot of people are going to watch that fight, right?
A lot, because I think a lot of people are going to want to see Jake Paul lose, and
100%.
Floyd Mayweather has criticized the notion of Jake Paul facing Canelo Alvarez, stating that Jake would be overmatched. Mayweather argued that while Jake may perform well against YouTubers and non-boxers, he would face significant challenges when competing against seasoned fighters. According to Mayweather, once Jake enters the ring with an elite boxer like Canelo, he wouldn't stand a chance.
Been impressed.
But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's entertaining. I like it.
Is he? And Floyd, there were many people who believe you're the most talented fighter ever. Period. So whatever you say to this question, I think is important. Are you impressed? Does he have boxing ability, or is he just an entertainer who has a lot of fans and can promote a fight and has fought lesser opponents, or is he actually talented?
As long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter, a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
Does he have the ability, with what you've seen, to continue to mold himself into somebody who can actually? He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo, so that's where his mindset's at.
It get fucked up by Canelo. Oh, I'm sorry, it's TMZ.
You can curse.
I apologize, but
no apologize about.
There's no way he get demolished. But for what he's doing, as long as they keep getting YouTubers and keep putting them in there with him.
Canelo Alvarez is known for making smart business moves in boxing, choosing fights that bring big paydays. Jake Paul believes this is why Canelo will eventually fight him. Jake views himself as a major boxing entertainer, with fans eager to watch him, whether to see him win or lose. He believes his strong pay-per-view sales will eventually force fighters like Canelo to face him, making the fight a lucrative opportunity for both.
I think it's very, very realistic. And people may think that sounds crazy, but Canelo is a smart businessman, and at the end of the day, he wants to do big fights and make entertainment, make huge entertainment products. And my skill set is improving every single day, and that's what doing fights like this are about: taking on real professional fighters, so that eventually I could take on tougher fighters. And I see Canelo versus Jake Paul happening in the next 24 months. It just makes so much sense. And also, people forget that I'm 200 pounds. I have a size advantage. All of these things that start to add up, which make it such an interesting fight that I fully believe I'll win. There's the KSIs, the Tommy Furies, the Nate Diaz MMA fight, but I don't know if these guys actually want to put it on the line. We've tried to make a Floyd fight happen. Floyd's ducked it. So I don't know if these guys really want.
Jeff Mayweather dismissed the idea of Jake Paul fighting Canelo Alvarez, calling it unrealistic and unworthy of serious consideration. He joked that Jake might as well challenge Muhammad Ali. Jeff feels Jake is calling out top boxers without proving himself and believes Canelo would never take the fight, as it wouldn't be competitive.
All right, here with Jeff Mayweather. Jeff, appreciate taking the time. Unfortunately, the Hasim Rahman Jr. Jake Paul fight has been canceled. Jake said something very interesting, though. He said that the big fight out there right now is Canelo. And he said, hey, Canelo can be beat. Bivol gave the blueprint, and I'm just like Bivol. I have the same powers, similar attributes, speed, elusiveness. He's basically I don't want to say carbon copy, but he's very similar to Bivol, so he would match up favorably with Canelo. Hard to argue. He's undefeated so far, and boxers are ducking him. What do you think?
Well, maybe. Why don't he just fight Bivol then? Canelo's already fight somebody. But Triple G.
But Canelo's the money, right?
Not anymore.
He's more money than Bivol.
He's probably more money than Bivol.
Especially if he beats Triple G.
Yeah, he's still probably more money than him. But the thing is that nobody's even gonna take that serious. You can say all you want to. You can say you can fight Muhammad Ali. You can say you can fight whoever. I mean, ain't nobody taking that serious.
But why not Canelo? So Canelo wants money fights. Jake is, it's pretty undeniable. He's the hottest prospect in boxing right now. He's undefeated. He's also one of the biggest draws in boxing. So why would that not be a fight to make? Or do you think that's something Canelo figures that's, it would look bad if he didn't come through positively in that fight?
I think that it's a fight that Jake is just yelling just to make himself look like he's legitimate. But, of course, he has a coach that would never let him fight Canelo.
You wouldn't favor him in that fight against Canelo?
The topic was brought up on Ariel Helwani's podcast, where it was made clear that Jake Paul versus Canelo Alvarez is not happening. They firmly stated that there is no scenario in which this fight could take place. It's not just unlikely, it's impossible.
Influencer versus pound for pound great being the hang up in the fight, being the one that stops the momentum. Because it's not happening. There is no world.
Okay, then let me ask you
this. May I be
this.
struck by lightning right now if this is possible?
Wow, a lightning bet from
if this happens,
right.
if this happens.
There's just no way. There is no way.
Wait. If what happens? If the fight happens, or if the upset of
if
the
Jake
century
Paul,
happens?
If Jake Paul derails Terrence Crawford versus Canelo by
All credit to him.
beating Canelo,
then you book
there's
Jake
no
Paul
chance.
versus Terrence Crawford.
Zero.
Okay, let me ask you this. If that fight ends up being close,
yes.
a lot of people are going to watch that fight, right? A lot,
yes. because I think a lot of people are going to want to see Jake Paul lose, and
100%.
Canelo's
Canelo's going to do this.
Like
Canelo would do this, and we're
Let's
just talking.
Let's backtrack to your first question, which is interest. I'm very interested because, as I've long said, I'm on this corner. I only care about Jake Paul in spectacles. It would be an absolute spectacle to see a pound for pound. First, he did Mike Tyson, which, and I'm not going all the way back, but I'm saying in his most recent outing, Mike Tyson, an all-time legend, a pop culture icon, versus Jake Paul is a spectacle. Now you're going the opposite direction to nearly in his prime. We'll say maybe like he's on the back nine, but he's still close to his prime. He's still a top 5 pound for pound on pretty much anybody's list fighter. Going against Jake Paul, I'm in for the spectacle. I'm in. I don't think Jake Paul has a chance in hell, but I'm in for the spectacle.
And how long has he been beating the drum on this? He's been saying he's going to do this forever.
Listen, let's see what happens.
Like credit to him.
They think Jake is unrealistic if he believes he can fight Canelo. Former world champion Carl Fr warned that if the fight happens, it will end badly for Jake. A critic of Jake's skills, Fr believes he would be outclassed and possibly hurt by Canelo, who doesn't go easy on opponents. If Jake steps into the ring with Canelo, he'll be completely exposed.
Mentioned me before, and there'll be people out there saying, oh, Carl Froch's talking about himself, he's after a payday. Listen, I'm not after a payday. I'm doing all right. There's no problems with my finances, but I'll take the fucking payday, of course I will, and I'll end Jake Paul with one punch. I'd go in there one-armed and beat this guy. He can't box. He's absolutely fucking useless, which we saw last night on Alvarez because it's just laughable. Jake Paul, Canelo Alvarez. Can you imagine? I mean, if Jake Paul fancies that and he jumps in the ring with him, I will pay homage to him because fair play. If he jumps in there with Canelo Alvarez, he'll get absolutely fucking destroyed and it will be fast and it will be messy and it will be bad for his health as well.
Who could be fighting next?
I can't give you the insight. I can't give you the insight. Just know that announcement coming real soon. Real soon.
Let me ask you a question then. Obviously, you're not going to tell me.
Okay.
You keep moving. Come here.
All right, my bad.